3 dogs circling a baby who wouldn't stop crying. Her parents thought the dogs were agitating her. Everyone they called agreed. They removed all 3. Then the baby got worse, and the veterinary toxicologist who examined what was actually in that nursery said something that made the room go quiet for a very long time. Felicia and Grant Osei had more dogs than most houses their size probably should have contained, and they were the first to say so. 3 rescues, adopted across 4 years. A 7-year-old Bernese mountain dog named Huck, a 5-year-old mixed retriever named Maze, and a 4-year-old pointer mix named Cleo. The 3 of them had a relationship with a baby, Rosie, 4 months old. That was, by any account, unremarkable and warm. They kept respectful distance. They were gentle. They checked on her with the incidental attention of animals who had accepted her presence into the house as natural. This was the baseline. This was what normal looked like. The new crib mattress arrived on a Friday afternoon. Felicia had ordered it to replace the one they'd been using. A mattress that the child safety forums she followed had identified as containing a specific chemical compound that some sources said off-gassed at levels worth avoiding. The new mattress was certified, labeled, reviewed positively on 4 platforms she trusted. She set it up Friday evening. Rosie slept on it for the first time that night. Saturday morning, things changed. All 3 dogs began circling the nursery, not frantically, not with visible alarm, but with a persistence that did not correspond to their previous behavior. Huck in particular, the oldest and most settled of the 3, who had never in 7 years shown anything resembling neurotic behavior, began positioning himself at the nursery door with a focus that Felicia noticed and then dismissed as curiosity. By Saturday afternoon, all 3 were in the nursery, and none of them would leave when called. By Saturday evening, Cleo was pressing her nose toward the crib itself, the mattress specifically, with a focused sniffing behavior that lasted longer than casual investigation. Rosie was crying more than usual, not inconsolably, not dramatically, but more than the day before, in a pattern that felt like discomfort rather than distress. Her color was fine. She was eating. Her temperature was 98.8. Felicia called her mother, who said babies had bad days. She called her pediatrician's line, which said the same thing. What Felicia did not call about was the dogs. 3 dogs crowding a nursery, refusing to leave, pressing their noses toward a new crib mattress. This, she and Grant agreed on Sunday morning, was the thing to address directly. They spent 3 hours Sunday trying to redirect all 3 dogs away from the nursery. They brought treats, they brought toys, they praised compliance enthusiastically. All 3 dogs returned to the nursery within 20 minutes of each attempt. By Sunday afternoon, Felicia had made a decision that felt, at the time, like the most responsible decision available to her. She called her sister and arranged for the dogs to stay with her for the week. The car door closed with all 3 dogs inside. The house was quiet for the first time since Friday. Rosie cried for 90 minutes without stopping. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you are in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Grant was the one who finally said it out loud. Standing in the nursery doorway at 9 p.m. Sunday night, watching his daughter cry in a crib whose mattress had only been in the house for 48 hours, he said, "What if they weren't doing it to bother her? What if they were doing it because of the mattress?" They moved Rosie to a travel crib in their bedroom. She slept for 4 hours straight, the longest consecutive sleep she had managed since Friday. Monday morning, Felicia called the mattress company. Then she called a certified indoor air quality specialist. Then she called a veterinary toxicologist, whose practice she found through a dog owner forum, who had 3 paragraphs of published work on canine detection of volatile organic compounds in domestic environments. Dr. Marisol Aquino Ferreira tested the nursery air quality on Tuesday with equipment that Felicia said looked like something from a different century, and turned out to be extremely accurate. The new mattress was off-gassing formaldehyde and acetaldehyde at concentrations that exceeded the EPA's recommended infant exposure thresholds, not by a catastrophic margin, enough to explain Rosie's increased irritability and unsettled sleep, not enough to cause acute crisis, but measurable, documentable, real. A dog can detect formaldehyde, Dr. Aquino Ferreira said, at concentrations approximately 15,000 times lower than the detection threshold for a human adult. Your 3 dogs were responding to a chemical compound that was present in your daughter's primary sleep environment at a concentration you were unable to smell, and your daughter was unable to communicate. They were not agitating her. They were identifying the source of her discomfort in the only way available to them. Has your dog ever obsessed over a new object in your baby's space in a way you couldn't explain at the time? We want to hear it. Drop your story below. Every guardian deserves to be seen, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. The mattress was returned. A new one, independently air quality tested, arrived 6 days later. Rosie's sleep returned to baseline within 24 hours. Felicia drove to her sister's house and brought all 3 dogs home. Huck went to the nursery first. He sniffed the new mattress for 30 seconds, turned around, and went to lie down in the hallway. Maisie and Cleo followed. None of them returned to the nursery with the focused attention they had shown that weekend. There was nothing left to report. The next story involves a dog who woke a sleeping parent 14 times in one night, and what the paramedic said when she finally arrived made the father understand something he had dismissed for 2 weeks.